thinking this will be a good one. This should be a good one. Just realized that I needed to cancel something there. Okay, good. We are ready to go. Alrighty, so let's see what the bans are going to be in this matchup. Now, in an unusual twist of fates, both teams have chosen to start on attack. So we are going to see Legacy starting on attack for the first half. Oh, sorry, for regulation. And then when we get to overtime, if we get to overtime, we're going to see Apollo starting on attack, which is a very interesting change of pace. Normally people choose to start on defense. Flores is going to get banned by Legacy. Very interesting choice. I do like to see a Flores ban. I like to see him in play, but I like to see the ban. It's good to see things that are a little bit different, but then Apollo's going to come out with a standard Thatcher. Oh, excuse me. They're going to come out with a standard Thatcher ban. Who will they ban on defense? Now, Valkyrie is a very common ban. In fact, the top 2 bans on this map so far have been actually Mira, Clash, and Kaid. 4 bans between them on this map. But we are going to get a new one added, and that's going to be Wamai being taken out of play. So the question is it going to be Mira, Clash, or Kaid? I doubt we'll see Clash getting banned at this point. Although Toby is known to play a bit of Clash. Mira is going to be the one though. So we would expect, I guess, a top floor hold to come out first. Are we expecting bar and cocktail, or are we expecting freezer? Freezer and kitchen. It is going to be bar and cocktail. No surprises. No surprises at all. Okay, so. I'm interested to see how this one's going to work. People are favoring Legacy, but I feel like Apollo are in with a chance here. Apollo, very good on Cafe historically, though their lineup has changed quite a lot. Kane used to be on Apollo, and we'll know how Jay would like to play this map. The rest of these players I don't think have ever been on Apollo, but Kane is going to 6-pick Buck and go on to Maverick, while Jay got booted is 6-picking the Thunderbird. Thank you, Pacey. I've got them set on a timer, so they come up automatically now after a certain amount of time. Once we switch to gameplay, they come on after about 1 minute 30 seconds, I think it is. So even if I forget, they'll still be there. They'll still be there, but thank you for the prompt. Alrighty, let's see what kind of setup we get from the Apollo boys here. Now, we are going to get a setup here on Pixel. Pretty standard stuff, nothing unusual. Very, very old school. 3 ADSs to protect that shield. A heavy investment here on this setup. Now, this is a newer setup that's only come into play in the last year, really, which is to have a shield in here and some holes in the wall. Shield behind the bar and holes here for typically a smoke to play behind and watch over into piano. But we have no smoke in... Sorry, we do have smoke in place, so it is likely to be smoke or Goyo that will sit here. I'd expect to see either Goyo or smoke playing on this shield. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what we get. Alright, so... all of Legacy rappelling up the front of the building here as they send their drone up to the top, and they will do the standard top-down push. No roam clear, though, on the first and second floor, but do they need it? There's actually no one down here whatsoever. No one on second floor either. Every player is upstairs on site. Maybe Legacy have that information and know they don't need to worry about the bottom floors and just can focus on the top. But I'd still like to see some utility and stuff set up down below just to make sure there's no flanks. You know, no one going downstairs and rotating around or dropping hatches and rotating back up for a late flank. Pings go out to Thunderbird. She knows the drone's there. She knows it's there. Stun grenades going out, and already the shield behind the bar gets taken out of play, and we've got a very fast push coming out here from the attack. 1 minute in, and they are starting to make good ground here as they're already getting this wall open into piano. Now, you don't need to use... I think you can actually just use 4 to get through if you place it just right. So, no need to use 8 there, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. because there's plenty of utility to go around from Hibana here. Stun grenade getting cooked. That's going to burn some ADSs, but they're going to need 3 of them. That's 2 ADSs burnt. There's still 1 more, but Jay got booted, and Hayden are going to pick up 2 quick frags from the bathroom and the surrounding area here, as Jay is going to fall back. 5 versus 3 with 1 minute 20 seconds left to go. Kane trying to find the angle onto someone there in Pixel, but there's no one there now. As Aruni misses all of the shots onto Kane, and somehow Eli just doesn't get away with it. How, Eli, did you mess that one up? Pre-fires going through the counter, doing a load of damage to Ulysses, but he is going to manage to stay alive by dropping down into the prone position. Kane making the plays here, trying to make his way in towards the site. As we can see, Zach taking a lot of damage here as he makes his way through to Pixel. Kane is dropped, leaving Zach all on his own in the 1 versus 4. And as always, Zach's ping is going to go against him, and Apollo are going to put round number 1 on the board. Well, that's something that not many people thought they would see. But it is just 1 round of many that have to be won here by Apollo if they want to take this matchup. They need the 7. They need to get 3 points ideally. They don't want an overtime win. They want to do this and shut this down in regulation. So this is a good start for them against a team like Legacy, who are known to be strong. But as we look at the lineup, we can see it is basically Vanquish with an extra couple of fraggers, which is Aza and Kane. Now, Aza did used to be on Vanquish back in the day, back when it was Den's team. Then they became Mutiny, then he left and he joined Reborn, and now he's over here with Legacy. So it is Aza just returning to his spiritual home with just Toby, Zach, and Typhlo Ozon. 2nd floor. Reading room of fireplace. This isn't something that any of us expected to see either. Apollo really mixing it up, trying to go for this win. Now, Legacy do have the right operators to tackle this. They do have the right operators. They've just realized, hey, it's not kitchen. Where are they? Maybe they haven't. We've got drones. Yeah, they do know it's up there. They do know where it is now. Yeah, so they're setting up the flank drones. We've got one here being placed nicely in mining. That's going to be Typhlo on. Aza watching the flanks here on bridge. We've got Zach just leaving his back at spawn, and Kane at spawn. So these 2 players definitely are going to spawn at River Docks, along with just Toby, who is the IGL for the team. And he said, guys, let's spawn at the River Docks. We can all get on my luxury yacht. We'll make our way to the cafe, and let's do some damage. That's what Toby said. That is literally what he said to them. I know it for a fact, because I know what he's like. That's the kind of thing that he would say. Up to the roof they go to open up the hatches and make their way in, but Sledge isn't there with them. He's over on the other side. He is coming up though, and he will be able to open up these hatches for them. They can do it with the breaching charges, but why waste them? Well, Kane actually has the secondary shotgun, so it doesn't really matter. I forgot to check that and see what utility Kane had. He does have the secondary shotgun. You can't actually see it though, so you don't know until they're playing. You see them whip it out, what they've actually got there, because of course it doesn't show you in the UI. Maybe in the new UI that's going to come out, we will get to see that sort of thing, just like the players in the actual game get to see, but that's yet to be revealed, Has anyone seen the reveal? Does anyone like it? What do we think of the new operator? Oh, Wazer takes down Jay, got booted through that window. Very common position to play. Oh, he's going to spot the player. That's Jaeger up there on Ulysses. No, I'm lying to you. It's Slams playing on Castle. He's still got 1 Castle barricade in his pocket. This is the problem with Castle. He's so used to having 3 barricades now that you forget where to put the last one. And in fact, you kind of think, where should I put the last one? I see Eli making his way up. That's a risky play. That is a risky play, because Aza's still out there just pre-firing onto it. As Typhlo and Kane get 2 quick kills, Frag Grenade is going to get cooked and thrown in. It's not going to do any damage. Not any damage at all, as Ulysses and Eli are the last 2 players left standing. Now, Eli didn't have a good run. In fact, neither of these players have had any kills. So we've got the only 2 non-fragging players left here in the 2 versus 5. Ulysses is going to pick up 1, leaving Eli all on his own. He does manage to get the player with the diffuser. He does drop him, but Kane, with the quick vault over, does manage to get that kill and put a round on the board for Legacy, making it 1-1 at the end of the 2nd round. So a nice little back and forth here between these 2 teams. Hey, we've got some replays. Let's watch them. Why not? Alrighty, so kitchen and service, typically the 1st or 2nd site to get played, is now going to get played as the tertiary choice. for Apollo. They were looking good in round number 1. They need to start picking it up. Get back into the game. 1 loss, not a big deal. Something really weird just happened on my screen there. It didn't actually come through on the stream, but it was on my screen. So for those of you wondering what the 6 and the 8 mean up in the top of the overlays next to the team logos, those are actually the current standings of these two teams on the leaderboard. So out of 10 teams, Legacy is number 6, Apollo is number 8. As we look at the win record, we can see that both teams, when it comes to results, very evenly matched with 2 losses and 1 win each. I do remind you that Legacy's 1 win was actually a forfeit win. They didn't win it by playing. They won it by sitting at home or being at the pub or whatever they chose to do.
10 seconds to go.
Instead of play the game because of the forfeit from Runic. Oh, hello. Hello. What's this? That's Hayden just running on the spot. It looks like it's just him and he has left. We can get a rehost. Apollo can call a rehost here if they want to. Looks like we are getting a rehost. No one's actually called it, but we've had 2 players leave. Are we rehosting? And now someone's dead. No one's called for a rehost. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Eli has returned. I don't know if he thought there was going to be a rehost, but Apollo decided not to. I don't know. They could have called it. Just Toby is going to take out 1, leaving Ulysses all on his own. In a 1 versus 3. I mean, he's going to get taken out by Kane. That was most unfortunate. I don't know if... I don't know if Apollo haven't realized the standard rule that is you have 30 seconds into action phase as long as no one's been killed to leave the game. We are going to pause it. I assume they want it. Yeah, I did just get the message saying pause. Now we've got Leinard's leaving. I don't know what's going on. What is happening? Are we getting actual... I am confused. Right, let's go to a rehost screen to give myself a chance to go and find out exactly what's happening here. Bear with me for a second, stream, while we do that. While we go to the rehost, let's just get the rehost screen ready, and then let's head right on over to it now. We will be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Mutiny have just converged onto site and just got pick after pick after pick. It won't have helped for either team, to be fair, but Athena will be coming in with more confidence anyway, so it's not helped either team very much. Now, Cams is going to take some gunfire from the player on red stairs. He's going to pull out that shotty as the drone is going to spot him. But he's going to hold that staircase, that doorway with a shotgun, and he is going to take down Nursing. So a great play there from Cams, a very much needed kill, but it is a 2 versus 4. He's going to get a second one with the SMG-11, leaving us in a 2 versus 2. Free Elo have just got all out balls to the wall aggression here as Merxy up above is going to try and deny from above, but he's not going to manage it. I think Plant is going to be successful. No, he does see the player, and he's going to stop him with the shotgun. Cams has an SMG-11 and a shotgun. He needs to be very, very careful with his ammunition here. He's going to go for those close-up plays, and he should come off better against Psycho, but at this distance, Psycho is going to get the pick. Vixer holding back, holding an angle through that wall. Oh, and he's going to get a beautiful shot onto Godzak. Godzak losing his MVP status right there. Okay, everyone is back, and we are ready to go. That was Apollo's 1RH rehost used. So no more for them. That is most unfortunate. I guess maybe they thought they'd play the 4 versus 5 in order to avoid a rehost, but I don't know that it really worked out best for them. Bar and Cocktail is going to get played. This is the only site that we have seen Apollo play here and win. So let's see if they can get a second one. Let's take a look at some stats for this map. Let me get to the right thing here. Here we go. Let's take a look at the stats. So for Cafe, it's actually 50-50. Which is a very even split here on this map. 50% of the time, attackers take the win. 50% of the time, defenders take the win. On this site, Bar and Cocktail, we can see that it's 57% attacking favored. so you expect the attackers to take the win. But kitchen service and cooking is actually the most equally balanced site that we have on this map at 50-50. Now, we saw the attack winning it in the last round that they played here. In kitchen and service, but that kind of means that maybe the defense should have won it. Maybe. I don't know. I'm assuming this is being done for sound cues. That's the only thing I can imagine. Kona... slow plays here as he just accidentally shoots Ulysses in the head while Ulysses puts down his barbed wire. Alright, so we've got one player repelled up here on White Window. Slams are going to take a whole load of damage as he makes his way into the washrooms. Eli just watching cams. Ulysses getting ready to peek this window here, but the player has left it and has gone up to the roof. It was an easy attempt at an early kill, which didn't have the desired effect completely, but he did at least manage to do some damage. Brisk Zach repelling on Cocktail as stun grenades go out, but that utility is not going to get followed up on. Instead, it is just there to allow a frag grenade to go in to take down the shield. So that is the Kona station and the shield taken out of play. Drones going out all over the place here on the top floor, trying to find these defenders and find where the attackers need to go in order to get their kills. 4 players up on the roof, 1 repelling on Cocktail window, just waiting for his chance. That is Brizak with the mighty LMG, the most common gun to be used on Zofia now that the M762 has just been wrecked. I tried it on PC the other day, and it's just as bad on PC or difficult. I mean, I'm not very good on PC anyway, so, like, you know, it'd be bad, whatever. Kane, though, gets taken out by Ulysses. He takes a whole load of damage while he's doing it, but he does manage to get the pick. But Hayden is quickly traded by Aza, who gets the second and just repels in. But he takes a whole load of damage from the player in the washrooms. That's going to be Jay Got Booted playing on the Thunderbird. He is going to pull out as Slams takes down MBY Aza, leaving us in a 3 versus 3. But Just Toby manages to swing things back into the favor of Legacy, dropping Slams on the Goyo. Eli playing on site, knows that someone's going to be pushing in. Oh no, the lifeline is going to make him a little bit fuzzy. And Zach is going to get the kill. Jay Got Booted, last man standing. He moves his gun right past Just Toby's head. And allows Just Toby to get that kill, putting things in much more favor for Legacy now as they go 3-1 up at the end of round number 4. I'm just not understanding the no rehost from Apollo. They've come into this, I think, feeling like Legacy are a huge advantage over them, and I feel like take the opportunities. You're allowed a rehost. You've just lost a player. Take that rehost and make sure you're fighting a 5 versus 5 rather than just playing in a 4 versus 5, which then ended up being a 3 versus 5 when Eli dropped out and came back just a few seconds later, suggesting that maybe he thought, oh, we're rehosting, and then the game carried on and he thought, oh, no, I better get back in. So I don't know. But that could have been a mistake from Apollo. It definitely was a mistake in my opinion. Definitely was a mistake. They should have rehosted, played that game 5 versus 5 rather than a 4 versus 5. But decisions have been made. We move on. We move on. Just Toby droning around downstairs. Setting up the drone here on... Now this is a classic, what's his name? Consta drone spot. Consta from Reborn. He sets that up because he always repels as Ash. Always repels as Ash on this window up here. So he has that drone there to watch his positioning. That's what Just Toby has set up for. But Just Toby isn't coming round to that side. Instead, he is coming from the front, along with 3 other teammates. The question is, where is the other teammate? He is over there. MBY Aza just spawning all on his own over here on the parking area. And he is going to rappel up the south side of this building. But he has no one watching that cam for him. Pre-fires go out through that window. Probably what happened exactly the last time, to do a whole load of damage to Slams. Oh, but Hayden going to play that very aggressively. Probably hears the reload and says, yeah, I'm not having this, bruh. I'm just going for it. And he takes him down beautifully. Nicely done there. And that puts Apollo in the early advantage. Utility being sent out to take down these rear gates. Trone being left there and Interesting choice for Kane to just drop in. Oh, he knows there's a player down by reading, and he just drops in, pre-firing it, ready. Just Toby is there as well on the doorway to try to get that pick, but it isn't going to happen as Kane does manage to do the work that he's trying to do, though, playing here as Jackal down on this second floor. That is Ulysses out of action. The key players here right now for Apollo is going to be Hayden and possibly Jay got booted. These are the two operators that I would like to see being left to the end to try and hold on to a post plant, or to deny the plant rather. Legacy making their way up to the roof. We've got one watching the skylight, which isn't always a good choice because it's easy to die there, but Briszak gets 2 picks as he just moves his way into sight. When the lag isn't affecting him, he is very effective. Jay got booted and Slams, last 2 players left standing. It's unfortunate that there is no echo left, but it is what it is. Those yokais can only be used for information rather than denial. That's the triple kill to Briszak. Jay got booted is going to take down one. That's Kane falling, but with only 18 bullets left in the Roni after the nerf, we are going to see Just Toby get away with being down but not out. Plant is successful. Just Toby isn't going to get revived. We've got 2 players watching the position. Jay got booted, does manage to finish the kill, but Typhloozon gets that refrag, and that is round going to Legacy. With a post plant. A lovely post plant. Now, kitchen service and cooking is going to be the last site that Apollo are going to attempt here on defense. They need to get the win on this round in order to stand a good chance in the second half. If they don't, things are not looking too good. Ulysses 6 pick in the mute, going on to Mozzie. Looks like that's the only 6 pick that we are actually going to get here. Welcome to the stream, Mistako. Thank you very much for coming along.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Let's see what kind of setup we get being brought into play by Apollo. Now, this is the round where they did play a 3 versus 5, essentially. So let's see what could have happened if they'd have rehosted and actually come back for the 5 versus 5. Let's see what the history books could have been like. ADS is being placed down. Let's see where the drones are coming from and where they're going to. Just Toby setting up here on the top floor. Aza just outside Bakery. We've got Thunderbird being watched and not spotting Typhloozon's drone there. That's most unfortunate. 4 players yet again spawning at River Docks and making their way over towards the building. The 5th player is coming over from the parking area. As usual, that is going to be not Briszak, though. That's going to be Aza, I believe, playing on the Iana. Now, we still have 9 drones in play here from the attack, which is very, very good at this point. A lot of teams will have lost a lot of drones by this point, but Legacy doing pretty well with their drone economy. Ulysses needs to step up his Mozzie pest game, though. It is very common where, in fact, you actually play the pests late game rather than during prep phase. Let the drones come in, shoot them, force those last few drones to be used by the attack during the game, and then that's when you pick up the drones. You just take that information away from them. Just take it away. Without them having more drones on the board in that late game. So that could be what Mozzie's going for here. He has actually dropped all of his pests, though, so he probably isn't going for that. Slam's going to be playing here behind the counter with 1 Kona station and an ADS to protect him, but at the moment, no one is coming that way. 10 seconds into the second minute. And we can see that it looks like it's going to be a freezer take as the hatch is opened. Ulysses playing underneath with Kane very, very carefully walking his way around that hatch, trying to find the heads. But instead, he's just going to find the footprints. Mozzie's going to get pinged, which means Mozzie is going to be running around trying to make sure he avoids getting tracked and shot through the floor. But the question is, where did he get pinged from? You've got to think about, where was I? Where could that ping have happened? And make sure that you know that that's where the attackers are. But when you're a player like Mozzie, just running everywhere, it's going to be difficult to work that sort of thing out. Now, damage being done upstairs. All the holes being opened up, ready for a take here on the site. Open up the holes, make sure you move the anchors out position. Gas grenade is going to go out, but Ulysses is going to get dropped, along with Eli, who falls as well. That's Kane with the double, but Kane does get dropped. Not sure who by. Looks like it's by Slams, who's going to finish off that kill. 2 versus 4. Things not looking good for Apollo right now, as they are just getting rather outgunned here by Legacy. Aza takes down Jay got booted, leaving Slams all on his own in the 1 versus 4. The plant is going down. It's going to be successful. And it looks like we are going to see a 5-1 at the end of the first half. This is not ideal for Apollo. I honestly believe that Apollo could take a win here. I honestly believe that Apollo could win this game against Legacy, but for some reason they are just looking rather outclassed. Look at that. That's what you can do when you've just got 1,000 bullets and pretty much no recoil in your gun. All right. So 5-1 at the end of the first half. Legacy switch over onto defense. Remember, both of these teams chose to start on attack, with Apollo choosing to start it on overtime, which suggests that both these teams prefer attacking. So maybe this is where we see Apollo come into life. Maybe this is where we see Apollo just storm in, take control, and show us what they've got. They haven't had a great 2 seasons. This season hasn't been good for them either, but like I say, they did have a tough draw going up against Sync and Reborn. And the reason for that was due to seeding, their positions in Pro from last season, the fact that they were lined up with the Pro teams, not the Challenger teams, which meant that as they won their first game, it was just the way the draw went, was that they went against other teams that had 1 win. That was Sync, that was Reborn, obviously. And because they were all pro teams, they were more likely to get matched up with each other just due to seeding and the fact that, you know, the site that chooses the picks will say, well, these 2 teams must be a better match because of seeding. They must be. So, yeah, not the best run for Apollo here. And I honestly believe that this was a better matchup for them. And I think Apollo could take a win here if they just pulled themselves together and really thought about what they're doing.
5 seconds left.
But let's see. Just Toby's going to play it underneath with Pulse. Aza just opening up windows for jump outs or spawn peaks, because that's the kind of guy he is. Pre-fires in the hope of hitting something, but there is nothing there. Spy Florizon just taking out drones. Zach ready for a jump out here. Is he going to get away with it? He isn't going to get away with it. Well, he is going to get away with it in that he doesn't get a kill, but he is going to be able to run away and not get traded. He manages to get back into the building completely untouched as Eli gets finished off by Kane. Standard run out that Kane, or peak that Kane always used to pull back when he was Apollo here in Season 1. This is nothing new from Kane. 5 versus 4, 2 minutes 20 seconds left to go. Thank you very much for the follow. Matteo Bomber. Ciao, you just joined us and you're going already. Well, thank you very much for coming in. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. C4 goes out, but it gets shot. I don't know who shot it. But well played to the player that did it. Jay got booted, is going to claim 1 life. If it was him that shot the C4 and then a player, then well done to Jay. It's interesting to see Jay playing on the Ash. He is not a frag player. He is more of a support type. Hayden, though, is going to get picked off by Brissac, and that's Legacy back with the advantage here, with Pulse being able to give away valuable information. He knows there's a player out here on the balcony who's going to rappel up, and that window is prepped, and we can expect to see Toby jump. Never mind, because Brissac's going to kill him instead. I guess the calls went out. Jay got booted, making his way down red. Flams ready to follow him, but they need to play together and not split up. There's a lot of work that they need to do. 4 players to find. UMP is going to open fire onto Jay got booted, but Toby's going to come off better with the worst gun in the game, leaving Slams all on his own up on the roof. And it's time for an informal timeout, I suggest. Apollo... I honestly believe Apollo could have won this. I honestly believe it. They still could. I don't know what they're doing. Slam's going to have a look, but Ace is just going to pick him off. Going for the 360s or 180s or whatever. I was looking away for a moment. Oh, Apollo. Match point. Legacy go to match point. What was the panel vote, says Sixter? It was 2-1 in favor of Legacy. 2-1 in favor of Legacy. And it looks like the panel was pretty right so far. Disappointing. I was back in Apollo. I thought Apollo would show more than this. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Kitchen and service, possibly the last site that we are going to see get played here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
If Apollo can't do something drastic. They chose to start an attack. They should be stronger on attack as we get into this half. But at the moment, I'm just not seeing it. Legacy have had their confidence boosted up in this game, coming in from 2 losses. And this will, you know, if they can take this here, this would finally be their first proper win in the tournament, or in the league rather, for this season. I don't know what to say. I just thought Apollo would do better than this.
5 seconds to go.
I don't know if it's a mental game at this point. I don't know if it's because playing a little bit later. It's just not the right time. The rehost miss was an unfortunate issue. And in the end, they ended up still using their rehost because the player left. And it being between rounds, so they used it between rounds rather. It's just some misplays by Apollo here that I just don't know what's going on. Alright, so drones are going out to try to get that intel and see what is happening in Bakery. We can see Jaeger just crouch spamming his way behind that counter. Manages to pick up the drone, goes for the second, exposing himself to the doorway, but he does very sensibly pull back into Bakery. While he's doing it, Brissac is going to get picked off, the double door's going to get opened. Free fires come out there from Typhlosion. He has no fear as he tries to take on that player, opening up that doorway, but he doesn't manage to do any damage. Brissac goes on to cams as Aza does fall. That's the double kill for Hayden. Ping's going out. They know exactly where Jaeger is. Hayden up above is the player to be able to act on these pings. He has the utility. He hears the player on red stairs. He's going to pre-fire it, and he gets his third. That's the triple kill for Hayden, taking out Kane. Great work from Hayden here as he starts to step things up. Pings are going out, and Hayden tries to find those kills based on those pings, but he isn't going to pick that one Jaeger off. Just Toby falls. Typhlosion is going to be left as the last man standing at 1 versus 5, but Jay got booted, is going to get the pick, and finally Apollo managed to put one on the board since winning their very first round, and that was a flawless as well. If Apollo can keep playing like this for the rest of the game, then we have ourselves an overtime. It's not that I have no faith in Legacy, it's just that they haven't won a single game here, whereas Apollo have. So, you know, numbers suggest that Apollo should be able to do something. Something better than they have been doing so far, until that last round. Kitchen service, kitchen cooking is going to get replayed by Legacy. No big surprise. Although, to be fair, they weren't even close to winning on that one. Weren't even close. So to go back there is an interesting choice. They can't go back to Bar and Cocktail, of course, because it was won in round number 1, or round number 7, rather, as we speak about proper round numbers. They won it in round number 7, so they can't go back there just yet. If Apollo win this round, then no doubt we will see... Nearly cool. No doubt we will see Legacy head up to the top floor. If they don't win this one. But at the moment, Legacy are guaranteed at least 1 point. If they win, before we get to an overtime, they get 3. But if we get to an overtime, then they'll walk away with either 1 or 2 points, depending on the final result. 6 seconds left to go in prep. We've got drones being placed all about the place, I'm sure. I don't know if Eli has managed to... I don't know if Brissac has managed to pick any of them up. I saw Mozzie, and I'm just used to Eli playing Mozzie, so I just saw Mozzie and thought, hey, it's Eli. But it wasn't. It was Brissac. There we go. There's the Mozzie pests going down. That's all of them spent. But has he picked up any drones? As he goes to look on the double window in VIP. Aza playing behind the counter as Jaeger... Sorry, Typhlosion playing behind the counter as Jaeger just peeking onto that doorway as he was before. Aza running around as Ella, trying to get an easy kill here through this small bakery window. Stun grenade is going to get sent in. It's not going to blind him. Air jab's going to go up, but he's going to be very easily able to take that out. But he does give away his position. Kane with the C4 manages to pick off slams, and that is not a great start to this round for Apollo. 5 versus 4 now with 2 minutes still left on the clock. We have a lot of drones in play. And Hayden, I did not know you could do that. Did he literally just drop off and then catch the ladder? I didn't know you could do that. Interesting. Right, now a nicely cooked grenade here over the wall would do a great job onto this player if they just know that Thunderbird is there. Thunderbird is going to peek it along with Typhlosion, but one player from Legacy does fall, putting us in the 4 versus 4. Interesting use of the Electro Claw, just putting it down there to protect that wall. Grismot goes off and Typhlosion spins around and just picks off Hayden. Beautiful play there from Typhlosion. Nicely done as Ulysses and Jay got booted full, and Legacy do take the win with a 7-2 victory. Most unfortunate for Apollo. I honestly thought they would do better than that.
Legacy wins 7-2.
Well, that is it for tonight. That is it. That is our 2 games. 2 rather convincing victories, I would say. 2 rather convincing victories. We had a 7-4 in game number 1 between Runic and Avenger Gaming. And then just now we've had a 7-2 to Legacy against Apollo. Not what Apollo